Paul?
Someone just like, hiya, Paul. So,
You are popular around here, actually, and not just with the Manchester United lot, because one of the PAOK players came over and asked for your autograph, didn't they?
he did, yeah. I wasn't sure he remembered me. It was such a long time ago. Yeah, but he wanted an autograph for his dad, so I obliged.
Did he there?
There he
we
is,
are.
yeah. Number 27.
That's
I can't say that. What's that say?
There we are. Very nice. There you go. Appreciation, Paul, from the opposition.
Yeah, I think I spelt it right as well.
Good. Well done. What did you make of United tonight overall?
I thought they were all right. The game was a little bit flat, I suppose, but I think they did enough to win the game. I thought they was in control of it in most times of the game. Really, there was a little spell after we scored actually that PAOK became a little bit more dangerous. They had that great chance, as I'm sure we'll see. But other than that, I thought it was quite a comfortable evening. I thought Casemiro and Ugarte, I think that could be the start of something if we're looking forward towards Amarin. That looks like a partnership that could be good together. I think it allows Bruno a little bit more freedom up the top of the pitch. It was a little bit disappointing in Highland, really. Thought he had a tough night, a difficult night. I think he will improve, though. I think he will get better once he's coached by a coach who I think will believe him. I'm not saying Ruud doesn't believe in him, but we've seen the effect that the centre forward has over in Sporting Lisbon. He scores lots of goals, and I think Ireland is capable of that. Obviously for Diallo as well, it's great night for him. Somebody who's in and out really needs to try and cement a place, and I think tonight he's gone a long way to doing that.
He began this season starting pretty much most of the games under Erik ten Hag, Ahmad, and then he kind of went out of the team a little bit. He's worked his way back in tonight, just his second start in 9 games, and he looked fresh out there, Karen.
Yeah, we picked him out first 20 minutes, brightest player, sharp, quick, had energy, and he did a press in the first part of the game, and he got the crowd going, and sometimes you need that here. Obviously the mood has been flat, but I keep mentioning the word energy because sometimes running that gets the crowd going, and obviously that helped him get his second goal as well. But I thought he was the brightest spark tonight. It's just, as a young player and a wide player, is consistency. And you mentioned he's been in and out. You have to be consistently good as a wide player and do the right things at the right time, but that comes with age.
And here's the man who's been coaching him since the start of this season. Ruud van Nistelrooy has come back out to join us. Ruud, thank you so much. We've just been kind of having an overview of the full 90 minutes. What did you make of it?
Let's start with a pretty poor first half, and then I'm nice. And second half was way better. That was clear. I think Ahmad made a difference for us today, obviously, but because of his goals. But he was sharp. I think in the first half was also one of the few that had his level. So well done to him. Good game. I think positionally we weren't good at all in the first half. We left our positions. We're taking lots of other positions than we set, because in their 4-4-2 there was 4 midfielders for us against the 2, so to give them a problem. So we were too much out of position, and we didn't get the game going. Second half, that was a lot better, and then we got into the game.
Let's focus on the positives then, because Ahmad was a bright spark out there for you today. Yeah. These were his first goals since August. So let's take a look at them, because the first one was a header.
Yeah.
What do you make of the goal?
No, it's a good goal. I mean, we like when we're in those spaces where Bruno is to put the ball in between the keeper and the back line. You see the 3 players in the movement, and it's something we work on a lot, also from the beginning of the season. So it's also always dangerous areas to cross from and to I headed it in.
You did, it looked like you were.
So yeah, this we needed. It was a good goal, good Bruno assist, and something that I like, the movement of the 3 reacting on Bruno's cross, so that was good.
This second goal was a great hit. It did take a little deflection, but that doesn't matter, does it?
No, he made his own goal. I mean, it was Christian tried to cross it, and coming inside with the left, getting it in the far post was excellent. But this is what made the goal. You know, he won his own duel and took the shot for the goal. So good goal, yeah.
What's he been like in training? Has he been pushing to start?
Well, he's been incredible, actually. Every time he was never affected by not playing. He was always training well, always stayed on the pitch, doing extra bits. Ruud, let's do more. Ruud, let's do more. And
Boss, let's do more.
Yeah, then now, yeah, just a week. But we did a lot of work before when he called me Ruud, and also that's an example. That's an example.
Yeah, Ruud, I want to talk about Bruno really. But for most of this season, I've been a little bit frustrated with him because he doesn't stay in that position as much as I think he should do. You see him in the right-hand side, the left-hand side, right back, left back, and you can understand because he's trying to help the team. Yeah. Now, these last couple of games you've actually played Ugarte and Casemiro behind him with that extra security. It looked like tonight, for the first time, that Bruno actually played in his position a lot more. Is that something you've tried to say to him?
Yeah, I tried to say it to the whole team. If we can keep those positions, the 10s, and it was Ahmad today from the right inside with Mazraoui high up and Bruno on the other side. There's two players who can play in these spaces. If we can get from the 6s to them or via the sides to them, then we have everything to play for. We got Rasmus with his runs. It was actually the first good good attack in the game where we found him behind the pressure.
The pass was just a little bit short.
A little bit short for Rasmus here when he made the run, and it's exactly what we wanted to achieve. But then we left our position so much again, and it's all goodwill, but it's not helping the team. Not only Bruno, but more players. And second half we stayed more in those positions and we found each other easier, and that led to more danger.
I think that's key for Rasmus as well. You need partnerships in team, don't you? And I think as long as you can get people close to him, I think he had a little bit of a difficult tonight. It weren't his best night, but as you say, that first little bit where Bruno turns, he's in the space, Rasmus makes the run, he can do that, but it didn't happen enough tonight for him.
Didn't happen enough. Second half we were better in positions, but also some crosses where he makes runs in the box that didn't come at the time. So, but overall, I said to the lads before the game, it was a year ago since there was the last European win at Old Trafford. I had to
crazy.
We showed that, and we looked at that, and I can't believe this. So we need. I also urge to, it's time to get this turned around and change and build on something again, and that's what it's about, I think, at this period of time at the club in general.
Yeah, it's a big win. It's a big win.
Ruud, one more game in the dugout as interim manager here on Sunday against Leicester. How much have you enjoyed this spell, albeit short?
Oh, well, for me it was important to get results coming, and there was the Leicester game, the Chelsea game, and now this one. So I can only be happy with the performance that the players put in, and the bit that I could do to help them. I enjoy it, but Sunday is another one, and I'm so focused on doing that then. Hardly thinking of what will be next, but it will be a time to do so.
We know you're determined to stay. Have you checked that phone yet? You said
I
you were
did
going
when
to.
I left your desk. I
Nothing.
did completely. I checked my Wi-Fi, and it was all on. So nothing yet. Patience.
Ruud, thank you. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Well, Ruud, brilliant. All the best, mate. Good to see you.
Paul, as always.
He absolutely was a star on the pitch tonight. Ahmad, you've 2 goals sealed, a first European win for Manchester United in over a year. How does it feel?
Nice. It's been a long time. We didn't win in the Europe. It was like 1 year, and today we were one of the best teams in this pitch, and it was important to win today.
Your first goal, you've waited a little while as well for a second European goal after that one against Milan a couple of years ago. That was a header as well. You seem to be getting a knack for maybe scoring with your head. Yeah,
it's important to score every time. This season I was a little bit unlucky to score, but I'm happy to score 2 goals today, and the most important thing is the win, and together we won together.
Your celebration over in the corner, grabbing the badge, does that just show how much this means to you?
Yeah, of course. When I score, I like to celebrate with the fan and to make people enjoy, and I was happy.
You're talking about making people enjoy it. Talk me through the second goal. You showed such great work rate to win it back. So what did you see when you pulled back to shoot?
I think is the work we did in the training. We have to press the opponent team, and I do my job. I press him and I take the ball, and I think it was bad for me to shoot and I score.
And now, we spoke to Ruud van Nistelrooy this week. How much have you been enjoying working with him? How much has he helped improve your game this season?
Since he's arrived in Manchester United, he's been important for everyone. He's very close to the player, and he's always here to help the player, to talk with the player, and yeah, he's very important for this team.
Well done tonight.
Thank you so much.
But first, Manchester United have won in Europe for the first time in a year as they beat Greek champions PAOK in the Europa League. It was Ruud van Nistelrooy's penultimate game as interim United boss. The game was goalless in the first half, but Amad Diallo scored twice after the break as it ended 2-0. It was the first time Ahmed had scored since August and secured United's first win in the Europa League this season. And watching the game for us was Darren Ambrose. Darren, just your thoughts overall on that Manchester United performance tonight.
Started really well, started on the front foot. I felt it was going to be a comfortable night, but then PAOK got back into the game, as you'd expect. In Europe, there's no easy games in these competitions unless you're Chelsea, of course, but they got back into the game. They looked dangerous on the counter-attack. Tyson in particular, Kamara had a fair few chances, but it's moments. Ahmad obviously scored the great header from Fernandez's cross. It was a lovely header into the far corner. But the moment was Tissoudali in the second half. He missed a gilt-edged chance from 10 yards, dead centre of the goal, straight at Onana. Down the other end, Ahmad once again showed his desire and determination and his ability to put Manchester United 2-0 up. And then it was comfortable towards the end of the game.
Just on Amad Diallo, he was playing like Ruben Amorim was watching.
Yes, and I'm sure he was. And I'm sure Ruben Amorim will be rubbing his hands together now, saying what a talent I have. Garnacho as well. I think it was indifferent first half for Garnacho, but he come out in the second half and put in a great first 20 minutes before taking off and looked angry to be taken off. And I like to see that. But yeah, Ahmad was the best player, was the star player today. And the second goal just summed up his evening. The desire to win it back and to hold off Baba Rahman of their fullback, who had a really good game, and to show the strength and then the ability to curl one slight deflection into the far corner. He had a really, really good game.
Yeah, he justified Ruud van Nistelrooy's faith in him by his selection. Just on Ruud van Nistelrooy, we said it was a penultimate game. He's got one more game in charge this weekend against Leicester City. For you, do you think he has to stay at United? Do they need to find a role for him when Amorim takes over?
I think so. He's made it clear that he'd like to stay. So if that's the case, then yes, I would definitely find a role, whether that's working with the strikers, whether that's a coaching role in some capacity. He's a Manchester United legend. The players have really responded to him since he's come in as this caretaker manager. What is it now, 2 wins and a draw? And as you said, he's got a game against Leicester that's winnable as well. That has to be said. So yeah, I would definitely, if I'm the powers that be, I'm looking, and if I'm Ruben Amorim, I'm saying, right, I need to find a space open up for Ruud van Nistelrooy.
You did say Ruben Amorim would be rubbing his hands with the performance of Amad Diallo, but just overall, just how big a job has he got on his hands? How much work has he got to do with this squad? Well,
it's huge, of course. Manchester United are a massive football club, and I said before the match started that it's a football club that's declined over the last few years. We know that. It was the powerhouse when I was growing up and when I was playing, and it's not been that for a long, long time. They're good enough to turn this around. I think they need to add a little bit more quality, particularly with the formation that we know Amorim likes to play. I think a few players may feel like they're playing out of position, or they may be moved on for other players to come in. So it's a job that I'm looking forward to seeing how Amorim handles this, because he's done really well at Sporting, we know that. He's done well in midweek against Manchester City. So I think he's going to be excited to take over this club and try and turn things around.
Yeah, just 4 days until Ruben Amorim takes over as the Manchester United head coach. Darren, thanks for your time tonight.
Ahmad scored twice in a man-of-the-match performance to put some much-needed excitement back into Manchester United's season against PAOK. United struggled to fashion much against the Greek champions in the first half, as Ahmad saw a strong shout for a penalty rejected by VAR. But the young winger broke the deadlock 5 minutes into the second half when he looped home a header from Bruno Fernandes's deep cross. Tarek Tissoudali spurned a golden opportunity for PAOK to equalise when he fired a tame shot into the gloves of Andre Onana after being found in the penalty area. Just as things were beginning to grow nervy inside Old Trafford, Ahmad struck again, stealing back possession before curling into the far corner from the edge of the area. After 3 straight draws, United have finally secured a win in the Europa League to get their campaign back on track by beating a side who have just 1 point in the Europa League this season and have won just 6 of their 10 games in the Greek top flight. They are up to the dizzy heights of 15th in the Europa League table. Ruud van Nistelrooy has one final game as interim manager this weekend against Leicester before handing over the reins to Ruben Amorim. Here are the talking points. Manchester United's front line are full of promise, but they simply aren't delivering. Alejandro Garnacho, 20, and Rasmus Højlund, 21, are far from the finished article, and they showed again why they should not be starting week after week for a club of the stature of United. Ahmad was undoubtedly the brightest of the lot in the first half, as he tried to audition for a starting role, running at the defence from the right wing while drifting inside and linking nicely with Bruno Fernandes. But his dummy of a pass, with no one waiting behind him on the stroke of half-time, summed up United's lack of cutting edge in the first 45 minutes. They went in at half-time having managed just 1 shot on target, a tame header from Højlund from a pinpoint Ahmad delivery to PAOK's 2, with Højlund touching the ball just 10 times and completing just 3 passes in 45 minutes. Such a drab performance should have been met with a furious reaction from the home fans at Old Trafford, but instead, the reaction to the whistle was more a familiar sigh. Ahmad is not known for his ability in the air, but it was his enthusiasm and desire to impress which was evident as Fernandes swung across to the back post. The 5'6" winger jumped as high as he could, strained his neck muscles and redirected the ball towards the back post. He was delighted to see it drop in. The second was even better. Ahmad pinched the ball off former Chelsea left-back Baba Rahman, drove forward and curled into the far corner via a helpful deflection. It was Ahmad's first start in over a month. He has struggled to make an impact while coming off the substitutes bench into a team devoid of confidence. United fans will hope that a second and third goal of the season can be a springboard towards better, more consistent things. United had clearly lost their way under Erik ten Hag, who frequently batted away reasonable criticism about the lack of a clear playing style or identity with feeble excuses. The club obviously hopes that the arrival of Amorim on Monday will help define this team, but for now, they are still lacking a coherent approach with and without the ball. Before kick-off, Van Nistelrooy was asked on TNT Sports whether criticism of the team's lack of style hurt him. "I didn't hear it, but when you tell me now, it's not of the biggest importance," he replied. "Of course, I want to have the players on the pitch to play at their best. Then you have to make a formation to play and a formation to defend and work on different skills. But I think confidence is such a big thing in football. Sometimes when the confidence is low and results are against you, it affects performances and style. On this evidence, that confidence will take some time to return. The performance was lacking. But United did at least finally win a match in a European competition. Coming into this fixture, United had tasted victory in just one of their last 11 matches in Europe, having drawn all 3 of their Europa League games this season. Their frailties have been extremely obvious in the competition, and remarkably, this was their first win in 380 days in Europe. Finally, with Ahmad firing, they have something to be hopeful and excited about. Højlund has now gone another game, without a goal. Marcus Rashford was brought off the bench for Garnacho, but was barely involved in the match. Joshua Zirkzee stayed on the bench even later, appearing in the 90th minute, as Van Nistelrooy gave minutes to the returning Mason Mount instead after Ahmad needed a rest on 80 minutes. United's attack has been badly misfiring in the Premier League, where only Southampton and Crystal Palace have managed fewer than their tally of 9 goals this season.